Hey you, welcome back to class. So for today's video, I'll be teaching you how to achieve a basic skirt pattern, okay? So I'll be teaching you how to cut a skirt, a short skirt. You know, there's not much difference between a short skirt and a long skirt. The only difference is in the length. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you how you can achieve a short skirt and also how you can also achieve a skirt with sitting allowance. When I say sitting allowance, I mean the bum allowance at the back where your butt can sit properly without having to be straight. So you know, most skirts that don't have like the shape of the butt. So in this video, I'll be teaching you how you can achieve that. So first of all, we're going to be drawing our border line, which is half an inch at the top of the skirt. Kindly note that will be your joining allowance to your band or your waistband, depending on what waistband you want to use. So we're taking waist to hip measurement and waist to knee measurement. So our waist to hip is 9 and our waist to knee is 18. So I'm using a client's measurement for this. So after marking that, you want to make sure you have 2 points so you can achieve a straight line. So this is really beginner friendly and easy. We're adding 2 inches extra allowance to the bottom part. You can choose to, depending on the length, of your client, but it's always advised to add 2 inches extra allowance to the length of your skirt, whatever type of skirt you want to make, be it a long straight skirt or a short skirt. Always add 2 inches allowance. It saves you a lot. So for the measurements, we're going to be using, just like I posted here, our waist is 30 and our hip is 44. Okay, so we're just going to be dividing the waist by 4, and that's 7.5, and we're adding 3 inches allowance, 3 not 2, please kindly note, 3 inches allowance to the waist, and then to the hip we're dividing by 4 and we're adding 2 inches allowance to the hip. Okay, now for you to get the knee round, your hip minus 6 inches divided by 4. So our hip is 44 minus 6 inches, that's about 38. So 30 divided by 4 was what I marked, and then we added 2 inches allowance. Okay, so remember your hip minus 6 inches is going to help you get your knee round measurement in case you do not have that. Then the next thing you want to do is connect the markings that we took. You can do this with your free hand as well. You don't really have to use a curve if you do not have a curve, so that should not like be a problem for you. You can also use your free hand as well. So we're just going to mark that, and then we've achieved our front bodies. Okay, this is our front pattern for our short skirt. So I'll also be posting a video for a long skirt for those who may be finding it hard, but this is really beginner friendly. You just want to insert whatever measurements on your clients that you have. It doesn't have to be like the same measurements. Your client's waist can differ, a hip can differ, a waist to hip can differ as well. So I'm marking 3.5 for like a dart, but I will not be putting any dart in the front. Remember, the front pattern does not have any dart. We'll be putting the dart, or rather we'll be sewing the dart to the back measurements. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out, and then we'll proceed to making the back panel. Okay, so for your back panel, remember you need about 1 inch extra. So for another way you could actually get your standard folding, you can use the hip divided by 4, and then you add 3 inches to it to get a standard fold. That's what you just need to fold into 2. Okay, so now I'm placing the front pattern on the back pattern. This really helps you so it's just easier for you to just, get your back pattern like this instead of starting all over again for the back pattern. If I was to start the back pattern all over again, I'll be marking the borderline, the waist to hip, the waist to knee, and that whole process would just be like elongated. So to just shorten the process, all you just have to do is take your front panel and place it on your back panel, but always remember to add your 1 inch extra allowance for your zipper. So that's what I just did. I just marked 1 inches extra for zipper allowance. So that's where my zip is going to go to, or that's where your zip should go to. Okay, so now I'm placing the front panel. Make sure that it aligns. Okay, make sure it aligns with your 1 inch. It should not be outward or inward, exactly on the line. And then you want to pin. Please pinning is your best friend, should be your best friend. Okay, you want to make sure that everything is in place. So I went ahead to pin, and then now you can see that I already have all the points, the waist to hip, the waist to knee, already on the back panel as well, since I placed the front panel on top of it. So I'm just going ahead to cut out the hip parts and the waist part. So you just want to do what I'm doing, get your shape for the back panel as well, then we proceed to the next phase. Okay, I'm quite sure you're understanding so far. If you're following me as I'm also doing it, that's very good. So now I want to go ahead to just notch. What I just did there was to notch the hip point and the knee point and the dart. Okay, you see me notching, and then the zipper allowance and the center front for the front as well. I just notched everything together. Notching is important so that when you are sewing, you know if your clothes are aligning. Okay, notching is very, very important. Now we're going to proceed to making the bum allowance, like I said from the beginning. Okay, this is where your bum will sit. It's going to also prevent your skirt from dragging up, from the back of the dress. So when you have this, it actually helps your skirt sit properly. Please and please, I cannot overemphasize this. This is very, very important. Unless it's like for a child, you're making a skirt for a child that doesn't have like obvious butts, then that's fine. But if this is for an adult, you want to do this. So I'm just going down by 4.5 inches from the hip line. Okay, so from your waist to hip, you go down by 4.5 inches. Then from your zipper allowance on the waistline, I went in by 0.5 inch. So I'm just going to connect that 1 inch, the 1 inch zipper allowance, to the 0.5 inch that I went inside by, and then all the way through to the 4.5 inches. Okay, so next thing you see, I'm trying to create a curve there. I don't want it to be like so straight. Okay, so you're trying to like just have like an hip shape, a curvy shape as well on the side. So I'm going ahead to just like cut that for the back of the skirt pattern, and then you just cut it all the way down. Okay, that's just it. Okay, I hope you really understand this, but if you do not, you can always rewind the video, skip back to watch what I did again. So that's just it. That's all you need to do to achieve a perfect sitting allowance for your skirt. And I'm just going to separate the front panel from the back panel so you can see the difference. The difference is the back panel is looking like it has two hip sides. Okay, as you can see, but I notched one side, so the side that I notched is where uh, um your hip measurement goes to. The side where I didn't notch is where your zip goes to. Okay, so this is the front panel as well. Okay, so I know some of you may be worried about I'm using a red pen. It's erasable. Okay, so if I press the iron on it, it will disappear. And yes, kindly let me know if you want to see the sewing process of this video, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and like or comment. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to answer. and you can also share this video with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye till next class.